I admittedly am a little sleepy, so
I am too.
let's.
I actually, full disclosure, I just took a nap. Like,
What?
the dogs have been getting up at like 3 or 4 in the morning for some reason.
No, no.
Um, and I'm going to, well, if I don't get up with them, then I have messes to clean up, which some days
Yeah.
I'm like, I might just want to sleep and clean up the mess. Um, but yeah, so like I'm all off my rhythm. So I took a wee little nap. I ate lunch while working and then took a quick nap, which probably wasn't.
Repurposed your lunchtime. I like
I
that.
did repurpose my lunchtime. And I am also just nursing all of these bug bites. I could have put pictures in our Slack channel,
No,
but I didn't.
no, you keep your
It's
you keep your bug
weird
bites to yourself, sir.
because they're like in a row. Like there's like 3 in a row and 2 in a row, and then there's like 5 in like a constellation pattern.
It might be
But
spider bites.
well, we were outside. It could be. We were outside at a friend's on
Well,
Saturday,
that was
like
your
by their
first
fire.
mistake.
I know. Well, and I'm like, I know I need to put on like bug spray or have one of those. Like we need to have a citronella or something, basically like right
Yeah,
under
or
my
you get
chair.
dengue fever.
Yeah. So anyway, no one else got bit. So apparently I just took
Oh,
like 43 bites for the team.
that's nice
But
of you. You're a better man than I.
yeah, Ralph Waldo Emerson spent a lot of time outside, didn't he?
I think I think
Is
you're
that right? Or am
thinking
I
of
thinking of the other one?
the other one.
We're
Walden.
great
Who's
today.
Walden Pond?
Oh,
What's Walden?
Walden. Yeah.
Um
On Walden Pond. Um,
what's the who's is that?
yeah, Walden and Waldo. Let's
Thoreau.
see what Thoreau. Yeah. Thoreau was. You're right. He lived in the woods for a long time. He
Except
probably
it
was.
wasn't really the woods, it was like a mile outside of town.
Yeah.
Per usual, he's a hysterical man trying to.
Oh no, what have I done? I've unleashed the anti-patriarchy today. Oh,
Get
well,
at me now.
I bring that up because today we're talking about debunking website myths. So I guess we're going to debunk famous author
The
myths
myth
of
that
the past.
Thoreau lived in the woods. No, he was a freaking liar.
I
His
feel like
mom
they
did his
covered that.
laundry.
Did you watch Dickinson on Apple TV?
No, but
Oh, you should. Because I feel like they covered that he was like really not that far. Because I think somebody wanted her to date him or something. And he was like living in the woods and like they got there and she's like, this isn't that far. Like we didn't ride that long. But it's very funny. And
okay.
it's a la the Bridgerton feel, where it's a little historic, a little irreverent, a little bit fiction.
Oh, I was waiting for you to say like a little bit slutty.
It's that too. It is
Okay.
indeed that. Um, yeah, Emily Dickinson has
Who's in
I
it?
don't know if you call it a romance, but it's like with death, basically. So like
Oh.
it's all based on her poems, like, and they come through in beautiful, beautiful ways. I really recommend it. Um,
I
so I
think
guess we'll have
that.
to look and see if there's a cocktail called the Dickinson.
Oh,
There
great.
might be. I
Type
don't
it
know.
up, Zach. Get.
But yeah, today we're talking about the Emerson, though, which is named in honor of Ralph Waldo Emerson. It came
Okay.
about likely during Prohibition, but there's really just a mystery and mythology around this cocktail. It doesn't have a
Mm-hmm.
solid history.
Okay. Okay.
Um, it did appear in Jacques Straub's 1913 book, Straub's Manual of Mixed Drinks. I feel like we should do Hazen's Manual of Mixed Drinks.
That's a
Um,
great name.
it'd be all tiki drinks. So it must have been at least somewhat popular in 1913, like because otherwise it wouldn't have, like, why would you put it in a book? Or he was just really trying to make it happen, maybe. Um,
I love
it
this
is
cocktail. Love it with me.
I know. It is a gin cocktail, so you love
Okay.
it. And it contains your favorite maraschino liqueur,
Yes.
which is I love that one as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, I don't know. It's classic and timeless, but also just like I had never heard of it until this
Mm-hmm.
like prep sheet showed up. And I like to think that I'm pretty good and well versed with
Yeah.
cocktails.
I'm gonna need you to stop itching.
Oh, you could see me scratching on the video. Hands where I could see them. Oh my god. Oh, all right.
Maybe if you had an Emerson, you take the edge off a little bit.
It might,
You wanna hear
you
about what's
know?
in it?
Yeah, like, tell me how to make one, and maybe I'll go do that as soon as we're done. Or maybe I'll
Strike
do
our
that while
dance
you're
break.
describing this.
It's an ounce and a half of gin, preferably Old Tom, which I've never heard of, so that's
Me either.
interesting. 1 ounce of sweet vermouth, half ounce of lime juice, freshly squeezed, as we know, a quarter ounce of maraschino liqueur, and garnish with a maraschino cherry. But if you're doing maraschino liqueur that's Luxardo, you might as well throw in a Luxardo cherry and really bouge it up a little bit. You're going to combine all of those ingredients except your garnish in a cocktail shaker full of ice. Shake until well chilled. This calls for a double strain through a fine mesh strainer into a
Mm.
chilled cocktail glass. So no bits and bobs in this. You want it clean, apparently. And then garnish with a maraschino cherry.
Yeah, I grabbed ye old Google machine,
Okay.
and I'm on Wikipedia, so Zach gave me probably a more reputable link. But apparently, Old Tom Gin is from 18th century England, but recently it is coming back because it's a little bit sweeter than London Dry, but
Okay.
then drier than Dutch Genever. Is
Hmm.
that the name? I don't know if that's crazy. So it's called the missing link because it's like between like this, like the not dry gins and the dry gins. It's like it hangs out in the middle.
Okay.
So I might have to try that. Like I really enjoy Plymouth if I'm going to have a regular gin.
Okay, so it's not a brand. It's like a varietal.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
I was
because
like,
the
why is the
brand,
first result aviation? But there's aviation Old Tom, there's
yep,
Heyman's Old
Heyman's Old
Tom.
Tom, Ransom Old Tom. They're
Yes.
different colors too. Look at that. The Heyman's is like
I know, that's
clear. The
very
Aviation
interesting.
is a little light yellow. The Ransom Old Tom looks like whiskey, honestly.
Mhm.
Um, that is crazy. So yeah, it sounds like you'd be looking for a brand, but you're not. You're
Yeah.
looking for a varietal.
So it's like an overproof rum
Uh-huh.
or like a black strap. I'm
Oh,
currently in rum
this
world, but
sounds like our world. We may need to make this drink. This delicious gin is bold, botanical, and sweetly citrusy.
Oh, yeah.
All right, that's from Heyman's. That's what they
Okay,
say about that.
Heyman's. Hey, man.
Hey man, I want some gin. Okay. I think I like this. And we
I
have well, we,
yeah,
we don't have Old Tom Gin, but we have the rest of this.
yeah.
Um
I wonder if you could use that, stone fruit Hendrix.
I mean it is botanical and citrusy.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Just a little substitution.
We'll have to dig deeper into that and see if it's
Yeah.
maybe inspired by Old Tom, the Old Tom recipe.
I feel like Hendrix is just playing in their own kind of cabinet of curiosities. How's that?
I mean, pretty
Hendrix,
much, yeah.
sponsor us.
Oh, some of these bottles are fun too. Now I'm down this rabbit hole
I
of
know you are.
pictures of
Let's
Old
take a
Tom
break and
Gin.
come back about talk about some website myths. How's that?
Sounds good. All right, and we're back. We've been gone for about 3 days, going down looking at different Old Tom pictures. Really, it's only been a few minutes. But yeah, so we're here to talk about website myths. And Caitlin, I have to tell you, I know you did your prep and I did my prep, and Zach did a wonderful job
Mhm.
with this, working with Jesse and Megan to pull these together for us. I have to get one off my chest though, because it is my it's myth like 0.5 or 0. I have to build my website in WordPress. No, you don't. And yes,
Mm-mm.
I'm not talking about like, oh, I could go to Wix or one of those. Like,
Ew.
no, that's not what I'm talking about. There are other platforms out there though that can work really well. Our preferred, as we've
Mhm.
said multiple times, is HubSpot's Content Hub because it comes with a whole bunch of other stuff. And if you're a small
Yes.
business, their starter is it's got limits to it on number of pages and things like that. But you get a
Mhm.
blog and you get landing pages. But it's really, really affordable, sometimes cheaper than like WordPress hosting, and
Mhm.
just less problematic and less of a struggle, which we'll get into in the
Yeah.
other myths. Um, but yeah, that's my big one.
We're definitely coming at the myths from the lens, at least I am, lens of HubSpot. Like I have done the small business owner website builds myself.
Mhm.
a couple of times. I've used Squarespace. I've used something else, and then I had one of my friends from college like build me a website, custom build it.
Oh, ouch.
Right, that was like
Good luck
my first
changing
website.
it.
Yeah, and he was great. He was lovely, but he's like, this is not what I want to do. And I was like, cool, I'll figure it out. And far and away, HubSpot is the easiest to use
Yeah.
and makes like they won't let you screw up like SEO stuff, or it'll be like you have to put in a page title, you have to put in a meta description before you can publish things. And
Mhm.
so
Yeah, so
it's a little bit idiot proof
you don't get
in
this
that
website
regard.
that has, absolutely no SEO on it, which can happen with
Mhm.
any other platform, including WordPress. None of that stuff is
Mhm.
required. And I think that's one
Right.
of the brilliant things because HubSpot's built for marketers, not for like coders or developers. Although, if you're a
Exactly.
developer, you can do magical, wonderful things. Um, but just as a marketer with a really good open theme, like Power Pro is our go-to theme. There's a couple other ones that are really
Mhm.
good, but that's ours. Um, you can do almost anything. Like it's drag and drop,
Yeah.
it's adjust the columns. So that's my first one. No, you don't have to build your website in WordPress. If you want to talk about other options, you can give us a call or
Yeah.
email. Caitlin will have that at the end of the show.
You know how to
Or
find
just
us.
jump on our website and like ask for a meeting with the agency. We got a little button up there at the
Mhm.
top, and we'll route that to Caitlin and Jesse, and they'll tell you all about websites and how you can build
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
All
All
right. So
right.
should we get
Myth
into what was
number 1.
actually
Yeah,
prepared? Ugh,
I suppose. We did our homework. Zach did our homework for us.
he did.
Website aesthetics are more important than function.
I mean, this is a rough one because I think
Mhm.
if you flipped it and said function is more important than aesthetics, I would also be like, because I feel like they've got to both be balanced.
Yeah.
But
I think it's also how do you define function? Because like if somebody's on your website and it loads quickly, but they can't find what they're looking for,
mhm,
that's function, right?
mhm.
So, I don't
Yeah,
know.
and they go hand in hand, really. Like these two really have to go together. But I have
Mhm.
seen gorgeous websites that are so horrible to load, and the menu doesn't work right, or the menu is so simple I can't find anything.
Mhm.
Um, those are always like rough, and those are like, of
Yeah.
course, in our bullet points here: slow loading speeds, confusing navigation. Doesn't work on mobile. You
Woof.
usually don't have to create a mobile only version. I don't think we've done one of those in
Mhm.
like 10 years. But you do have to make sure that your website like translates to mobile fine. You may have to adjust some modules or some spacing or something
Mhm.
like that.
Yeah.
Um, a- Another really good one, this unclear calls to action. I need to know what you want me to do. Like,
Mhm.
what am I supposed to do here? Am I supposed to go deeper? Am I supposed to click a button? Am I supposed to open a video? Like, what is it you want me to do?
Mhm.
Just tell me. Like, and then I can choose to do it or not do it. It's like being a child. Tell them what you want them to do, and they'll choose to do it or not do
Mhm.
it.
And you probably have to tell them again. But that's
Mhm.
also like a clear call to action, right? Is like, no, this is the action. This is what the desired output is. And that's how you can become a good customer for us.
Yep.
Like,
And I think that one of the big ones here, I think it's the second bullet point here, was struggles with the ability to edit, manage, maintain. So if
oh,
you're having a rough time updating your website
mhm.
and you don't because it's too hard to do, you're
It's
gonna,
only gonna get
yeah,
worse.
it's just gonna spiral. It's gonna get out of date. Your SEO is gonna suffer. Oh, it's really gonna be
Mhm.
horrible. Like,
Yeah.
and that one I think is probably one of the areas HubSpot tackles the best. Is it's all drag and drop and super easy and
Mhm.
intuitive. You can
Yeah.
do basic stuff, but you can also do really advanced, fun, interesting stuff. We've got a
Mhm.
ton of examples of that that we've done. But even if you do that, like changing an image, easy. Changing copy, easy. Updating your meta description,
Mhm.
easy. Boom.
Yeah. And then yeah.
Ugh.
Or if you don't wanna do that, we can help you.
Yep.
Web content updates can be done for a pretty reasonable price
Yep.
if we're
We have a
comfortable in your
HubSpot
CMS.
ticket system for that for our smaller
Mhm.
clients. that we support in that area. And if you do have like really poor function, no matter how pretty your site is, you're going to have high bounce rates. We talked a lot about that in the Spanish gin and tonic episode, which you can go back and take a look at. I'm sure Zac will link to it in the notes for this episode.
Mhm.
And we always appreciate a past listen. Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty is one thing,
All right.
but function is also important.
Myth number 2. You'll start seeing results right away.
Mm-hmm.
Ouch.
So you can actually get a little bit of a dip in some of your website stats
Mhm.
right away when you launch, but it will recover very quickly, and then you will start to see it increase. As far as like things like traffic and time on site and stuff, if you do it right, those things can all work.
Mhm.
But SEO, ranking for new keywords, it ain't fast.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
So
No. And I think it's also important to, and maybe we'll talk about this. I mean, we will talk about this later, but um consistent updates and consistent quality control and
mhm.
making sure that things are staying relevant, like that is all part of an SEO plan.
Yeah, and I mean, when you're looking at SEO and how long it takes to work, there's no better company to ask than Google.
Mhm.
And so Zac was able to pull some data. They've got plenty of it out there, just really trying to level set. So um, Miley Oyi, I think, from
Ooh,
Google.
sorry.
That's their name. I don't know if it's a him or her, or
Mhm.
a they. So in some cases, SEO can need 4 months to a year to help your business. Um, so implement those improvements and continue to improve. You will see a benefit. I know we've got an
Mhm.
SEO program that we started over 4 years ago. And there were improvements, but the actual business and sales improvements took almost 3 years to
Mhm.
scale and to really matter from purely SEO. Like there were other things going on as well. The business was fine. But
Yep.
once it scaled, it like doubled very quickly, like in
Mhm.
less than 6 months.
Yeah.
Um, but it's like everything, right? If you, even if it takes a long time to show up, if you don't start, you're never going to get there.
You're gonna, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is that eating an elephant? You have to start with the first bite or you're never going to,
One bite at a
yep,
time,
eat
yes.
the
Yep.
elephant. You
Yep.
can't swallow it whole.
Yeah.
It's too big.
Oof. Mhm. Yeah. I was thinking about that with a client today. Zach and I were actually working on this, where we talked about a specific kind of organic plan that we want to put in place, knowing that on this particular initiative, the client's kind of budget shy and they don't want to
Hmm.
put a bunch of money behind a paid
Yep.
campaign. But that doesn't mean that we can't do that same work and start to push things out organically. And then if and when they're ready to put some paid budget behind it, we can have those things work in tandem. So,
Yeah, and I think that's an interesting way to look at it because like we're going to have fees to do the work either way, right? And while
yeah.
Google ads or Facebook ads or LinkedIn ads or whatever you want to do will show results quicker, you're going to have that investment up front and it's still not going to
Mhm.
be as efficient as it can be until it runs for a while. And so you've
Mhm.
got to kind of choke on that upfront media expense until you get
Yeah.
the scale going. You've got 100 conversions or more so that it can really start to
Mhm.
optimize. With SEO, it's going to take longer, but you don't have that outside sunk media to deal with. And I think the other thing is, can there be quick wins in SEO? Yeah, absolutely. Have we seen things move
Mhm.
in weeks or like less than a month? Sure. Typically, those are the things that you're already ranking for, and you're like in the 20s or 30s, and we can hit
Mhm.
those hard and try to bring them up. Um, it's also areas where like your competitors just aren't doing much in that. And so that's much
That or
easier.
you started so badly that the only place to go is up.
Well, you can still be outside of the top 100 because most tools don't tell you unless they say 100 or above 101 plus.
Oh,
They don't
man.
tell you unless
Okay.
you're in
Okay.
100. But some of our larger clients and even some of the smaller ones have started with keywords that you're like, you should rank for this, and
Yeah.
it's not even showing up in the top 100. and then it pops in at like 97 and you're super excited, even though no one is seeing it on the 10th page of Google's results. But
you gotta
moving,
start somewhere.
right? It's moving, and that's what we want to see. But obviously moving from 25 to 9 is going to be easier than moving from like 100 plus to 9. So all good. They're doing work outside my house suddenly, and I don't even know what it is.
How exciting.
I think it might be
love
fiber, which would be good. We have our fiber, so we're getting fiber installed in October. I'm very excited. Not Google Fiber though; they're not up here. So
myth number 3.
Oh, okay. I was going to share a little bit, or ask you to share a little bit about why SEO takes so long, but we can move on.
I don't know. I have Riley for that.
So, you've got Google has to sort through everything, right? And they have to be able to see you, and relevance, quality, usability all matter. Relevance is probably one of the bigger ones, and then quality, and then also usability. So the other thing is, if you're not updating your content, a lot of people don't know this. If you don't update your content, except like you update it once a month, Google's robots will learn to only come back to your site once a month, because they're not going to crawl. It's like that restaurant that never updates their menu. You want a fresh menu, so you wait until they update it. They want a fresh menu. So if you're updating your content weekly, you can force them to come crawl your site. And then if they're seeing that you're updating weekly, they're going to come back weekly. If you're updating daily, they're going to come back daily. So that's part of the process with your quality content.
A little trick.
So more frequent updates. And that's where like doing a blog a week at least, making sure those have a summary on the homepage, so your homepage is changing every week, at least one element. I mean, there's more you can do than that, but that's at least one thing that really helps you get results a little bit faster. But yeah, if you're not ready to tuck in for 4 to 6 months, maybe even a year on SEO, I mean, I guess I just don't know why you're in business.
More frequent updates means faster results.
Maybe potentially, yeah, as long as you've got the other things like the relevance and the quality and the usability, but that timeliness is another piece of it as well. But yeah,
helpful. Now, can I talk about myth?
You can.
Okay. Only online businesses need a website. I can't even say that's fracking ridiculous. No. The first place that I go, like, this is a personal gripe. Today, I was looking for landscape materials, and a local place was like, their Google My Business page. I said, Flagstone Pavers near me, and it says view website, and it's a Facebook page.
Yeah, a lot of people, I wish they wouldn't let you put a Facebook link in there. We've got, I can't remember which one it is. There's a restaurant we go to, and they lost their domain. Apparently it's still in the Google results. It still shows up in search. It's still on all of their marketing, but when you go to it, it's like an online gambling website. And so finding their menu is so hard. But luckily, somebody went in and just like a patron just went in and took pictures of their menu and uploaded those to their like Google Business and Yelp.
It's like a review.
Yeah, just be like, here are my pictures because you can't find a menu anywhere. I think I might just steal one next time I'm there.
Goodness.
But yeah, it's like, okay. Because I was like, oh, maybe this isn't the right website. And then I went and looked and I'm like, no, this is what they say on their menu, their website is, but it's not. Yeah, we do research online. Boom. Period. We start online.
For everything.
Yep. Everyone does. Going to go to a store to buy a shirt, I will start online. I actually found a couple shirts that I really liked, and Brian was like, oh, like there's a retail store out at the outlet, so for that, like we could probably get them for cheaper. And I'm like, oh, okay. It just showed up in my Facebook ads. But yeah, it's, I don't know. Just because you're not selling something online doesn't mean you can't tell people about you. It's your brochure, right? No one's handing out paper brochures anymore. God help me. I hope you're not.
No.
It's really just about your website. And that's how you tell people who you are and how they find you. And have that clickable feed.
It is also like a reputation thing too. Like if I can't find you online, I'm immediately skeptical.
I believe the kids say you're sus.
Oh yeah.
No website equals sus.
I don't. Is it skibbity? God
Oh
bless
no,
me.
that one means nothing, is what I saw
Help, Zach.
in the
Help.
translator. I don't think skibbity means anything.
That's just brain rot. That's
It's a
just
nonsense word,
nothing.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have that then
Oh well,
in
all right. So
spades.
Catelin is all skibbitied.
No, that's never. I'm actually quite sad that I even said it.
uh,
Why? Who am
I mean, sus. I
I?
think everybody's probably moving on from because now everybody's adopted it. It's become sort of
Ugh.
mainstream. I mean, at least that would make sense. Like it's short for suspect, right? Something
Do you know what
suspicious.
I think of though when I think suspicious? I think of it in Spanish because sospechoso is much more fun to say.
Sospechoso. It sounds like I'm ordering a
Sospechoso.
really interesting appetizer. I'd like some sospechoso.
Sospechoso.
But could you imagine?
Yeah.
So that could just be a mystery appetizer at a tapas place.
Don't be
And then
suspicious.
when people translate it,
Get yourself a website, even if it's only one page in HubSpot.
oh yeah, the one
You do
page
it for
website.
free.
And when we rebuilt our website, we had one page for like 6 months. We had everything on it that
Mm-hmm.
you kind of needed to know about us to be able to get in touch. And then we've been
Yep.
building it out since. But yeah, just have something. Also, you own your website. Like that
Huh?
content is yours. If you are building only on Facebook, you are building on somebody else's land. And Facebook will decide what it looks like. Facebook will decide what you're allowed to say, what you're not allowed to say.
Whether or not it gets to stay up. Like if you get
Correct.
mass reported on a social media platform, that stuff can go away because they're using a bot to
Yep.
decide. So if somebody says like this is spam or this is hate, like and enough of that happens, like it can be very detrimental to your online presence.
Yep.
So
Own your
own
domain.
your domain,
Own your
own
space.
your website.
Yep. All right. So myth number
Myth
4. Oof.
number 4. Once you launch your site, you can sit back and relax.
Set it and forget it, Catelin.
Yikes. No.
No. And we talked about this a little
That
bit.
works for rotisserie chickens and maybe some landscaping, not for your website.
Yeah, we talked about this a little bit in point number 2, myth number 2. You do have to update your content regularly. Increases your value to search engines. It also increases your value to surprise your customer, your prospect.
Your customers.
If it's always exactly the same when I go back, I got no reason to go back. Like, give me a reason to come learn something, see something, discover something.
Yep.
All of that. And that one, I mean, these all tie together, right? That ties back to like the first one, where make sure that it's easy to update and maintain. That's going to make it easier to add content.
Yes.
So, and there are tons of ways to do that. But no, you can't just put an Instagram feed on there and call it good and that's your new content. You can do
Good
that if that's
heavens,
interesting and you keep Instagram up and running. But
yeah.
Goodness.
It's not the only way.
Website myths. So no,
Busted.
WordPress is not the only place you can build. You can build other places. See us and we'll talk to you about HubSpot and why we love it. Aesthetics are not more important than function. They have to go together. And a beautiful site that doesn't function will not be seen by anybody. Everything is instant. No, everything is not instant. Things like SEO and increases in traffic can build and take time. So be patient. I don't need a website if I'm not doing e-commerce. Wrong. And set it and forget it is not something that you can do. So we'll have a little bit more info on this. I know we've got some blog posts on these things. We've got some past episodes that Zach will link to in the comments, where you see that at ctapodcast.live or on whatever platform you're on as well.
Yes.
So yeah, I think we did it. I think those are 5 good myths or 4.5 great myths.
Yes. 4.25.
4.25.
I don't know.
Sure, why not? I think
always,
Catelin wants to get an Emerson and then go take a nap.
And then I want to take a nap. Yeah. You can always find our agency at Antidote_71. If you have a question you'd like to send our way, head to ctapodcast.live to shoot us an email, or even better, you can leave us a voice message on our hotline at 402-718-9971, and your question or comment will make it into a future episode. That's a promise, not a threat.
Yep. And we do have another episode coming up. Wow, I almost choke when I say this. Next week, from when this one airs. I think this one's going out during Inbound. Is that right, Zach? Like, yeah.
Okay.
But while we're at Inbound, we are going to attempt to record from some space there an almost live Inbound, kind of recapping stuff. It looks like that's scheduled for Friday morning, so I think that'll be a good day for us to try to recap, and then that one will air, I guess, or release the week after Inbound on that Thursday, and then we're just going to keep going. So yeah, that one's called the Ward 8 Part 2. So we talked about the Ward 8 from Boston in the previous episode before this one.
Yeah.
And it will be almost live from Inbound 2024. And whether we have guests, who knows? It might just be us.
It's going to be a surprise.
Maybe we'll grab some HubSpot employees and talk to them.
Ooh. We'll harangue them.
We'll find out. Until then, though, call us. We would love to hear from you.
That's correct. Thanks for being here.